one end of the neck to the other. And that's a fairly standard concept of how you connect scales. But now what we're going to do with this information is we are going to take a look at how I visualize all my scales through this one scale. Alright, so I start off with this. This is how most people see their scales. The pentatonic is here in black. The blue scale is basically the pentatonic scale again with some other notes added to it. But when we look at it this way, as all one color, it looks like a whole different shape. The diatonic scale is actually this scale again with some notes added to it. But again, when you look at it like this, it looks like a whole new shape. And really that's how people learn it. They learn this is one shape, this is another, and this is another. And they don't realize how these three shapes really are the same shape and how they relate together. But here's how I see it. You see, I've highlighted the notes of the pentatonic scale, and that's really how I see that when I look at the fretboard. Those notes kind of stand out to me. These other notes here, like in the blues scale, this is just one extra note that we've added. This note's the same note in two different places. This is really the same, these are all the same note added to the pentatonic shape, and that creates the blues scale. This also happens with the diatonic scale. We add the 7 and the 4 to this scale like we were talking about earlier, and it creates a whole new scale, but I still visualize it as a pentatonic. So you see what I mean? The pentatonic is my shell or my guide. Then I fill in the extra notes, and I just refer to those as interesting notes. Here's something else about this. Most people, when they play pentatonic, they think, okay, I've got to play these notes and nothing else. And when they go to the blues scale, they think, hey, I got to include all these notes but nothing else. And then diatonically, they feel the same way. Hey, if I'm playing diatonic, it means I have to use all these notes and I can't play anything else. And that's really totally not true. The way I see it, I see the pentatonic scale. Then I can fill in, maybe this interesting note, maybe this one here, that one there. I can fill in any interesting notes that I want. So I'm actually creating, I'm playing in and out of different scales. I might be playing pentatonic one moment, hit a blues note the next, hit some diatonic notes, but I see all of this as one unit. It's all one thing to me. And I know that this has a certain sound, and this has a certain sound, and this has a certain sound. So I just add the notes in, the interesting notes I call them, as I see fit, and I create the sounds that I want to create. And that's how you are going to be able to do it as well. Now this is only in one position. This is the 6th shape. You're going to be able to take this through all 5 positions like this. You'll have to learn them in all 5 positions. And it's not very hard to do. You got the pentatonics like this. As long as you have this as your foundation, everything else is simple. All we do is fill in the interesting notes here, 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 and here for the blues scale. Then we can fill them in again for the diatonic scales. The diatonic scale, by the way, can be called, that's this one over here again, it can be called many different names. It can be called Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. All of those different names can apply to the diatonic scale. And I really apply those names to the pentatonic or the blues scale as well because, like I said earlier, I visualize all of these as basically the same scale. So what this boils down to is just being able to take the pentatonic 5 shapes, fill in some interesting notes to create other scales. And by following the same method, we can create all of our scales. We can create your, like I said, all your modes. You can create really any and all scales using this method. And I use this all the time. This is a great system, and I wouldn't trade it for any other system because it's really changed my playing. Years ago I learned this concept and started using it, and it just changed the way I played tremendously. Changed the way I thought. I was able to finally create some of the sounds that the professional players that I had always listened to and admired played, and it just really helped me a lot to really step up and think more like a pro and to really start being able to play what I heard in my head. And that's the whole thing about Guitar 60 Seconds. I'm trying to give you a system and teach you how to visualize your fretboard and give you the tools you need to work with. And then once you can see these things, you can visualize them, it's no problem to play the sounds and the licks and the riffs and the ideas that you hear in your head or the ideas that you hear other people play. And this it's really cool thing about this system is you're developing your visualization, you're developing your fretboard navigation, and you're developing your physical technique all at the same time. And it's just a really awesome way to do that. And I hope you get into it. I hope you get the course and get to check this out for yourself in more detail. But that's all for right now. Just wanted to quickly go over that. And you can check out the course at guitarin60seconds.com. The version 1 of the course will still be on sale until Wednesday, February 28th, and then it'll be gone. We're going to be doing version 2, but we'll be taking a few things out of that version and creating, I'll probably add a couple things in, but I'm going to be taking a couple of these major concepts out and breaking those out into their own separate courses pretty soon. So you can be looking for those as well. But the Guitar in 60 Seconds, the way it is right now with the 6 DVDs and the audio CD, is the a really big version of the course. And like I said, we're going to be breaking that down into version 2.0, taking a few things out, and spreading that out over some other methods or some other DVDs later on. But anyway, I hope you get the course, and I hope you enjoyed the pentatonic master scale concept. If you have any questions about it, just go to the blog and ask them, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, thanks a lot for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.